Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw tips and tricks, and a couple of people have watched my bridge video that I made earlier, and two people asked me how did I make the columns of the bridge, and what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen that video, um, the columns like that, and there's several ways you could do that. The best thing that I've seen is just take your rectangle tool and make a long rectangle. Go up to a range and convert it to curves. Take your shape tool, and depending on what you have your nudge factor set on, I've got mine set on 0.09 right now. And this is what's so important. You're going to grab that one node and you're going to right click your arrow 1, 2, 3, 4 times, let's say. Then I'm going to go to this one and grab it. I'm going to go the left one and cursor over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you've got kind of your shape of your column. And if you do that manually, without precise movements of that 0.09 times 4, you could always make a duplicate of that and then mirror it, and you can see it's exactly the same as the other one. And by doing that, you flipped it around, and let's get it back where it was. You could actually mirror it this way, and you can just kind of tell. And this is also a useful tool. You could do that, and you could weld that, and there's a shape that you might take a while to produce. So let's back up here and just take our one shape, and we'll keep that. We'll just keep that to the side. Then to make this shape, you could almost use anything, but I kind of like doing this. Go to your text tool, type out a V, and let's just go with that. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and turn it into a red hairline. Let's stretch it out a little bit. Let's mirror it. And let's put it right here. We need to go a little bit bigger. And what I'm also going to do, and this is pretty important, is I'm going to set this thing in the center of the page. Then I'm going to set this in the center of the page. Of course, we need to make it a little bit bigger. Set it in the center of the page. I'm going to cursor down to where my edges are really past the border. And let's do it, make it like that, put it back in the center page, come down. Okay, that looks good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a duplicate of that V. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to put it in the center of the page, and I'm going to come down. And then I'm going to hit Control D again. And what it's doing is that not only it's moving it up equally, it's moving it a little bit smaller. So you're progressively, and you can kind of see it here, that line is progressively, the V's are progressively getting smaller. Then all you would have to do is group all these together, select them all, and you just have to play around with the weld. Like this weld isn't going to work because it's going to weld everything like it should. So we're going to go with back minus front. So there we have our column. Let's move this out of the way for a little bit. Let's go ahead and group these. Well, they're already grouped because I welded them. Hit P for the center of the page. Go get our old column, hit C for the center of the page. And you can see we're a little bit off. So we're going to make it a little bit wider. And there you go. You have your column. And then what you can do is just to build the bridge part, let's group this together. Then let's just decide that your bridge is going to be, this thing is almost 1.5 inches wide, and we want them 2 inches apart. So then I would take your nudge factor and go put it to 2 inches, make you a duplicate, hit your arrow key to the right, it's moved it over 2 inches. That's really not enough. So let's go. And a lot of times you go, well, where did my nudge factor go? When you're clicked on something, your nudge factor goes away. You need to click off. Let's go 3 inches. Duplicate again, 3 inches. And then so there you go. You've got your 5 or 6 or how many other pillars you want. Now, getting into this, the weld tool sometimes, so that, messes you up. And let's just get this kind of where we want it. I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm going to take my nudge factor back to 0.005 so it doesn't move so much. Now, if you were to grab all this, and let's say this is going to be the base of your bridge, if you're going to weld all this, you're going to lose your interior of your object, and you can play around with it. And, there's a bunch of different, but it's a lot easier once you've got this. You got it where you wanted. You're pretty even. Just take your virtual segment delete key and just delete these lines. And there's probably a way to weld it, but I've found, through trial and error, if you just get on that line and delete it, because a lot of times if you have interior parts, they'll go away. And there's a way around that. You could ungroup everything and grab just those interior parts. So I need to ungroup everything. Then you could ungroup these interior parts, move them out of the way, and then you could weld. You could weld a top across here, and you're not going to lose your interior parts. And that didn't even work because you've got some lines there. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit, and thank you for watching.